Let's play out the government shutdown scenario, which I think we're all skeptical will actually happen. We talk about all the time. They don't go through it. But you do have Ted Cruz and others now really taunting, like literally taunting fellow members and saying they're part of the surrender caucus if they're not going to actually go to the brink, if that's what it takes.
Ted Cruz, Rand Paul, I mean, there's some influential voices on the other side of that debate.
And they've specifically been pushing this idea of defunding Obamacare, which people know is going to go nowhere. So we saw the Weekly Standard this week pushing the idea of delaying Obamacare, because their view is that's something we can win. That's an issue where we're not going to be embarrassed. Both sides actually might do that.
There's precedent now set by the administration itself, given the employer mandate delay on Obamacare. So there's a fairness argument Republicans can make that they previously couldn't make.
Well, yeah, and if it's not working, like, Democrats might be happy to be thrown into that briar patch.
The White House would be. The White House was obviously fine delaying the one portion of it. They're not fine delaying the individual mandate and the exchanges.
And they think, remember, they're dealing with, and here again you get to sort of the division between the White House and the rest of the Democrats. The White House is a very narrow mandate here. It's like 2 to 3 million younger users, getting them enrolled, and it's a very narrow casted kind of argument. They're not looking to sell this again. They know that this is basically a bag of garbage politically for the foreseeable future. They just want to hit their numbers so that the thing doesn't tank.
But there's the Wall Street Journal has done some fabulous reporting on the real challenges to doing that, because the economics of Obamacare don't work if you don't get enough young, healthy people to sign up to be able to draw down rates for everyone else. And I think there's been terrific reporting showing that even if they put all of their energy into that one small piece, that's going to be a Herculean effort, because for most young people, if you're just looking at it as a raw economic move, you're much better off paying the fine for the first 2 years and then getting your catastrophic coverage once you actually get ill. And I don't know how they get around that.
Well, I think what they're banking on, and I think this really gets down to whether OFA and the Obama campaign infrastructure can come through, because in places like Los Angeles and San Antonio and Cleveland, where they're targeting these efforts, in Miami and the Orlando and the I-4 corridor, these are the Obama core voters, so they're essentially replicating their efforts that they did in turn out the vote. The question again, and you make the point, casting a single ballot for a candidate is one thing, having somebody incur hundreds of dollars of new expenses is quite something else.
Well, not just that, but negotiating a much more complex process than pushing an I vote button.